This live stream is part of the Kindle flash sale, featuring more than 50 books, including mine, written by entrepreneurs across a range of business and personal development categories. I'm very pleased to have this conversation today with Renee Rubin Ross, the author of Inclusive Strategic Planning for Nonprofits. Oh, it's going to be a great conversation today. My name is Daria Rudnik, and today we'll talk about what it means to build strong culture and strong teams, both for nonprofit organizations and for-profit organizations, like non-profit, for-profit. Let's talk about this. So, Renee, tell us about yourself and your book.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's so fun to be live on LinkedIn. So here we are. Here's my book, Inclusive Strategic Planning for Nonprofits, Dr. Renee Rubin Ross, based in Northern California. Our firm, the Ross Collective, designs and leads inclusive participatory processes for nonprofits and funders, government entities. And this is really about bringing out the wisdom of the room, ensuring that people's voices are heard and honored in planning. And so what happened was that we worked with many strategic planning clients. People had all these really interesting questions about how to do it and what was going on and what was going to happen next. I started writing it down and then thought, okay, this is something that I can give to my clients as a way of explaining the process. Then I thought, okay, I can make this into a book. I had about 30 beta readers who read the original manuscript and said, we would like this to be something that we could use on our own. And so the drafts of the book, what eventually became Inclusive Strategic Planning, is something that we could hand to clients, and we are handing it to potential clients as a way of understanding what a consulting engagement will be like. But it is also something that could be used by people all over the world who are seeking to do strategic planning. So yeah, so that's on one foot, and lots more to say. And Daria, tell us about this. Daria, do you go Dr. Rudnik or yeah?
No, just Daria.
Tell us about yourself and your book.
Well, thanks, Renee. Well, I have so many questions to you and about your book, but let me introduce myself and my book. So my name is Daria Rudnik. I'm based in Israel on the other side of the ocean. My book is Clicking, and it's a book for overloaded leaders who build self-sufficient teams, who want more energy, more time, better results, who feel that, okay, there is more potential in my team. We can do more. We can achieve more together. On one thing, there could be some problems and conflicts and work overload, but I really enjoy also working with teams who know, hey, here is our big goal, here is our ambition. And by following the steps in this book, and in this way, this is the same, very practical, do it yourself, basically, book, you can build a strong team that will be able to live through and navigate multiple disruptions, whether it's relocation, new office, new product, AI entering workplace, anything that where you need a strong teamwork.
Cool. And how did the book come to be?
Well, that is a great question. Well, I think I had a kind of similar motivation that, like you said, that you had creating something that people can read, take, and do on their own. If they need help, I'm there to help them. That's like no questions about it. But it's not always possible, not always needed. Sometimes all the thing is a little intervention, I don't know, some new way to approach a team session, some new way of connecting with team members, and you can change. You can have a drastic change. You can change how people feel at work. You can change how people perform at work, and you can free more time for yourself. Yeah. So, like, what about your book? I have a very a question because this book resonates a lot. I'm a member of an advisory board for a nonprofit organization, World Ethics Organization, and our goal is to bring ethics narrative into the world to make sure companies, people make more ethical decisions and kind of think about it on a daily basis when we make every decision. And your book is not just strategic planning, it's inclusive strategic planning. Why is that?
Yeah, thank you for that. So that is one of the things that I was thinking about as I was writing. And There are a lot of books on strategic planning. What I felt was missed by those books is there are a lot about the steps and the process without noticing or mentioning or amplifying that who is speaking, who is sharing their perspectives is really, really important to what emerges. So it's not neutral. You actually need to get the right people in the room weighing in on different parts of planning. And when you do that, what you end up with is a plan that people feel connected to and then want to bring to life. And we have a structure in the book, which is it's deciders, builders, and sharers. So there's different layers of how people participate, but really making sure that the people who are going to be doing the work are weighing in on the vision for the strategic plan and also the goals. So that it's not like, oh wait, someone handed me this and I have no idea where it came from, and now I'm supposed to do it and I don't really understand why, right? So yeah, so that's
That is
yeah. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying that is so important because again, in my book, my first chapter is clear purpose, how to make
Mm-hmm.
sure people are aligned. And what you're saying about including people, again, that resonates so much because again, in my book, I write again also about you as a team. Yes, you need to be connected, you need to work together, but that's not enough. You need to go
Mm-hmm.
out to your stakeholders, people who will benefit from your work, people who expect to
Mm-hmm.
result from you. Get their perspective. Do not be
Mm-hmm.
work isolated. You will not be able to create great results when you are isolated and not talking to your stakeholders, not talking to people who will benefit from your work.
Thank you for that. And actually, I wanted to say that, I've been thinking about the relevance of, especially like of inclusive strategic planning in the times we're in these uncertain times. One of the things that I'm talking about is that there is a tendency, I think, in uncertain times to kind of lock down information. We feel fearful, we communicate less. And really, this approach, as you just said, is a lot about how do we continue to collaborate, continue to be open to different perspectives, and maybe do something that feels a little bit counterintuitive in these times. So tell us more, Daria, about about teams. Yeah, about how do teams click? Yeah.
Well, I do actually have a framework for that. Its
Mm-hmm.
framework is how teams click, which consists of five pillars. The first one, as we talked about, it's clear purpose. What is that unites team? What is that the team can do only by working together collaboratively, and they cannot achieve that by combining their individual
Mm-hmm.
contributions. The second one is linking connections. Again, what we talked about, how people are connected to each other and how people are connected to their stakeholders and get all the different perspectives that contribute to their purpose and their work. The third one is rather interesting because I don't see many people do that and many teams do that, but once they do, it just changes a lot. It removes friction and anxiety from teams like starting day one. It's creating team norms and rules of how we work together. It can be a team charter,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a simple list of norms. How often do we meet? What's
Mm-hmm.
expected from us? And things like that. The fourth one is collaborative decisions, how teams make decisions together, and what decisions are made by a leader, what decisions are made by individual contributors, what decisions need to be made together. And the final one is knowledge sharing and feedback, how we learn together, how we collect feedback, how we
Mm-hmm.
grow as a team. So when you have clear purpose, linking connections, integrated work, knowledge sharing, and okay, once again, clear purpose, linking connections, integrated work, collaborative decisions, and knowledge sharing, your team will click.
Wow, that's great. I wanted, I guess as I wanted to write it down, but I'm like, wait, I have your book already. I can look at it. It does go fast. You have to kind of dig into each one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in this campaign, actually, so many great books. I have your
Mm-hmm.
book. I have two books
Mm-hmm.
on creative thinking and innovation, and I have some other
Mm-hmm.
books in my reading list waiting to be read. uh, how, like, what it gives you to be part of this community of authors.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We tell our clients to be part of networks, be part of communities. None of us, we can't do this alone. Man, I mean, I'm personally out there protesting some things that are happening in the United States currently. And so we need to be advocates for the causes that we care about. We've had in the nonprofit sector, we've had cuts to funding, and we all need to be speaking up about those cuts. That is definitely within our legal, the legal bounds of what the work that nonprofits can do. And so it's powerful, that we're not acting alone, and we're acting in community. And this has been, a week of community with all these different of the wide variety. Some, some different, all kinds of different ideas and perspectives. But certainly we're sharing each other's audiences and getting the word out, and it's working. My book is flying off the virtual shelves. It seems like many of our books are. So yeah. So what about you?
Well, again, for those who listen to us right now in the recording, here is the link. You still have a chance to grab your book or books for 99
Yeah.
cents. Lots of
Yeah.
great titles there.
Here's mine, Inclusive Strategic Planning. Yeah. Hold your book up. There we go.
And I so much agree. It's such a great vibe to be in this community. People sharing knowledge. Like I have a that's an opportunity for me to also share with my other networks, to share those great books. I read those books. I recommend the ones that I like, and we spread the word. Teams get more creative. Teams get more innovative. Nonprofits can run their operations better. We have better teams. We can grow our businesses. Lots of great topics on basically in one list.
Yeah. And I'd love that you said one of your, part of your framework is that knowledge sharing. And I think it is having feedback loops, right? And so we get to learn from each other. We get to learn from other authors. Same thing that we teach our clients, right? Is you want to learn from people in your community. You want to be hearing from those community partners in order to do better work. Yeah. You don't want to become siloed, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's such an interesting conversation. Like anything you want to share with the audience, kind of a core message.
Yeah, I think the core message of this is really, in these times, how important it is to honor people's perspectives in planning. And that feels like if I was going to say, actually, I did a presentation yesterday, and I'm talking about these myths of planning. One of the myths is the final document is the most important thing that you're going to get, right? And a lot of people think that it's like, okay, I have to have the plan in our closet.
The plan.
Right? I mean, the plan. What is in the plan? We don't know, but that's the myth, right? The actual story, the actual fact is that it's these conversations that build the plan that are as important as what you have at the end, right? And so you have to get the right people in the conversations. And my book tells how to do it. So yeah, grab a copy. What about you, Daria?
I mean, that's so cool. I mean, I can so much relate to what you're saying. It's exactly what I'm telling. You cannot build a team by going out on an offsite. You cannot build a team by doing some one-off intervention. It's continuous work of facilitating conversations. And what I want to share with leaders is stop being heroes. Stop trying to save your team. Stop trying to protect your team. You can go back to them, tell them, hey, what can make us great team? What can help us work better together? And start having those conversations, asking questions, keeping silence, keeping your mouth shut, listening to what people are saying or how they're not saying things. And that will start moving and evolving, and eventually you'll get to the point when you have full team synergy and working together. But your work doesn't stop there. You need to keep these conversations going, because the moment you stop, it all falls back. It's like training. Yeah, you need to do it every day.
Yeah, so finding ways to keep that team building and team strengthening as part of your ongoing process. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, for those who are watching us live or replay, thank you so much for joining us for this Kindle Flash Sale author panel. And thanks, Renee, for sharing your insights and experiencing and your book. That's incredibly valuable. And thanks
Thank
for
you.
all the
And
authors.
we could probably talk about our books for another couple hours. Yeah.
But let's have our audience go and get those books. Read
Yes.
them.
Ooh, here we go. Let's do a one last book showing. Yeah.
Okay.
You can get Clicking. You can get Inclusive Strategic Planning and Kindle Flash Sale, Daria or Renee. Either one will get you. Yeah. Great.
Well,
Thanks so much for hosting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great conversation, and take care.
All right. Be well.